Hi you guys. So today I want to talk about the 39 people who lost their lives in a cold storage container in the UK. If you're not familiar with the story, it happened probably 1 or 2 weeks ago. The authority in the UK discovered that in a cold storage container there were 39 people who died because of the cold temperature, obviously in that container. They were believed to be smuggled from Belgium into the UK, and some of them are confirmed to be Vietnamese, and I think that right now, or probably in the future, there will be confirmation that most of them or all of them are Vietnamese. This event sparks a lot of debates about human trafficking, about illegal immigration, about laws and rules, about modern slavery even. There are so many questions: who to blame, who's the victim. If these people did this on their own terms, they actually paid money. I think there is one news saying that one of the victims paid about £30,000 to be smuggled. So this story has some personal impact on me because I lived in the UK a year ago when I was studying for my master's degree. I had known about smuggling in container cases before this event blew up, basically. I remember the story told by my landlord at that time. So he told me the story about one of his relatives. They were fostering a Vietnamese kid. The kid was smuggled into the UK with his mom in a container. You know, the fact that they made the journey was speechless to me. I don't know what to say. Containers for goods are not meant for human lives, like it could be too cold or too hot or just too stuffy. Like, there are so many risks when you travel in a container, and the fact that they made it to the UK is just astounding. But he told me that the boy was separated from his mom when they arrived, so the fate of his mom is unknown to him and to the authority. But they found the boy in this house. The people there, they grew weeds, and this is not something that is unknown for a lot of Vietnamese living in the UK. Obviously it's not legal in the UK, or that's the reason why it's good business. But the boy was found in this house, and he was locked up in the basement, doing all these like weed growing thing, and he wasn't allowed to go out. When the police raided the facility or the house, they found the boys and they brought him to a foster home. Obviously he didn't speak English, and I think they are sure that the boy was abused, because my landlord told me that he has so many cigarette burn marks on his arms and legs, and God knows what else. But he was obviously abused and traumatized, so he didn't speak to the foster family or the authority, even though I'm sure they brought in translators or people who can speak Vietnamese to speak to him, but he couldn't, or he didn't want to open up. So my landlord took the liberty to talk to me and ask me if I wanted to go talk to the boy. He lived, I think, very near my place at that time, and I agreed, and I texted the foster family through the contact number that my landlord gave me, but they didn't contact back. So at that time I wasn't thinking much, but right now I think about the story again, and I understand why they didn't want me to talk to the boy. I think it's obvious that I'm not a professional. They don't know my background well enough to let me talk to him in a language that they don't understand. And I think I understand that it's just a very right and professional decision that they made. I shouldn't have agreed to talk to him or to meet him at all. I think I didn't know the situation well enough. I'm not prepared. And probably he's linked to some kind of dangerous business or gangster mafia business that would be dangerous for me to get involved in. So I understand in that time they didn't want to contact me. But that was my personal story. So when I saw the news about 39 people who died in a container, it was like, I'm not sure if they are the only ones who died being smuggled into the UK or whatever country. I mean, if you think about it, it cannot be the only case. The reason why it got blown up is that it's 39 people. It's a lot, and the way they died was gruesome. It was cold storage container, and many of them obviously tried to notice people outside. There are so many stories right now on the internet, but I'm pretty sure it must be very gruesome. I think it's very hard for us to pinpoint who to blame. If you don't live their lives, you cannot really judge if their decision was wrong. So the lesson that we should learn from this is that first, the most important thing is education. I'm very privileged. I went to the UK for education. I had the money to pay and to stay my life there. Unlike a lot of people who had to really struggle to make ends meet. And I'm sure that education is what got me there. Obviously, I'm not from a super wealthy family that could afford me expensive education abroad. I was from a small town actually. Because of the education that I got, I had good jobs and I was able to save money to get what I wanted, get more education basically. And I think it's very important for younger people to know that education is something that will change your life slowly but surely. The next thing is awareness. It's very easy to be attracted by glamorous life online. What I mean is that I can imagine a lot of these younger people, they agreed to pay the smugglers, human trafficking gangs and whatnot, a lot of money to be smuggled into countries abroad because they see that probably their relatives or their neighbors who are successfully smuggled or successfully live lives abroad. I can imagine that in this days and age, social media plays a very important part And you have to know that whatever you see online is not the whole picture. It's definitely not the whole picture. It's definitely the very small part of the picture, and even not the right part, and sometimes it's not even true. Looking at these pictures and online stuff, just think twice. What you see is not everything. People would pay sweats and tears and even blood to get there, and sometimes they don't. Okay, that's it from me for now. I just want to leave you guys with this. Don't trust anyone on the internet, even me. Bye.